Here we go. Good morning. Let's go ahead, come to our seated position. We'll start today's class with a short, easy meditation. So take a moment to arrive onto your mat. Couple of deep breaths. Maybe you can try exhaling through the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Allowing your body to release anything that might need to be released this morning. And then going ahead and softening and relaxing through the shoulders. With the eyes closed, we can bring our awareness inward. We can let go of the need to look around, to see, to take in visual stimuli. And we come into that inner awareness, allowing yourself to feel whatever rises up for you this morning. And you might feel drawn to sounds around you. Acknowledge, notice, observe, and then come back to that inner awareness of the body. That next deep inhale and that next slow exhale. As we begin to calm the sensations of the body, we also calm the thoughts and the movements of the mind. Bring yourself into this steady, calm awareness. I am present. I am here. I am breathing in, and I am breathing out. With the next exhale breath, we'll bring our palms together at the center of the heart, softening through shoulders. Maybe lean the chin down towards the chest just a tad bit to stretch the neck. We'll open our sacred space of practice with one sound, Om. And gently blinking the eyes open, allowing the light to enter softly back into the eyes, receiving it calmly with peace. Bring the chin down just a little bit more and let's let the hands rest on the knees or on the lap. Softening through the back of the neck, maybe add a little bit of movement, chin to one shoulder, chin to the other shoulder. And then gently, very easily bringing the chin back to center and lifting it up. Good. As we come here, roll the shoulders back. Let's plant the hands onto the floor. Fingertips are nice and grounded into the mat. So we're gonna kind of push the floor away, lengthen up through the rib cage. So this first one, we allow the body, instead of sinking down into the floor, to lift up and away. So it's very gentle, it's very small movement. You may not even be able to notice it on the camera, but you'll notice it when you press into the fingertips and you lift up. So it's an engagement of the lower abdomen, pulling in through the lower belly and lifting up through the rib cage. Good morning, Suma and Sudhakar. It's to see you logged in. Thank you for coming. And then as you exhale, let's go ahead and bring that left hand down flat onto the floor. So you might need to lean a little bit, and the right arm up to extend. Allow that left shoulder to pull back and down and away so you can soften into that left elbow. And just reach straight up to the right arm. Not going over just yet. Just go straight up to that right arm and a little bit of a rotation in the body, looking out towards the right side of the room. Now from here, keeping that left elbow bent, start to lean into that left side. Keep gazing out towards the right, so you're stretching to that left side of your neck. Reaching and extending, keeping right hip down, belly's drawn in tight, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, coming back through to center. Release right arm, fingertips back onto the floor. Again, that little bit of a lift, pressing into the floor. It almost feels like you're gonna get your butt off your cushion. And then exhale, come back down. Right hand palm flat down, the left arm extends up. So the first one is just a lengthening through the left side. So the right elbow stays straight, and there's no need to bend it just yet. Reach to the fingertips, pull the left shoulder blade down into its socket, finding that extension from left hip to left fingertips. And then gazing out towards the left, creating a little bit of a slight rotation in the torso. So it's like your rib cage moves over to the left. Keep the right arm pressed firmly into the floor. Again, you can bend a little bit here into that right elbow as you rotate. Hold the length in the left side, steady breath. And then slowly from here, keep gazing towards left. As you exhale, start to bend more into that right arm and slightly lean over towards the right. Still keeping that length in the left side body. A little bit of more weight now in your right, but keep softening through that right shoulder so you're not pushing it up into your ear, but instead pulling it down and away. Keep extending. And exhale, slowly coming back through to center. Reach up through the fingertips again, gaze forward, exhale, release. Good. And then let's go ahead and roll the shoulders back. Beautiful. And then slowly we're gonna come onto our hands and knees. Okay, oh, we got lots of new guys joining us. Gaurav is there too, I didn't see Gaurav. Okay, go ahead, come onto the hands and knees. From our hands and knees, settle yourself in here. Let's start with a couple of cat and cows. So keep drawing in tight through the belly. That same pressure that we felt when we pushed into the floor, feel it here as you extend your rib cage forward and away from your hips. Now inhale and lift up, coming into cow. Shoulders rolling back, chest is pushing forward, tailbone tilts up, and we gaze forward. This creates that nice arch in the back, that nice back bend. Opening up, stretching from pubic bone to throat. And then exhale, curl it under, coming into cat. So this is the opposite version of that. Now the tailbone tucks under, the shoulder blades move away from each other, and press up towards the sky. Tuck the chin towards the chest, keep the roundness of the back. Feel the stretch throughout the entire spine. Let it engage into your fingers, into the tops of your feet. Hold and breathe. And then slowly let's move with the breath as we go into one and then the other. So the inhale moves us into cow, and the exhale curls us into cat. And you can feel free to make these movements a lot quicker than I'm making them, or even a lot slower. Allow your breath to dictate your pace. So if your breath is a little bit faster, you might go a little bit faster. If your breath is a little bit slower, you might go a little bit slower. Start to match up. That inhale with the lifting up into cow. And the exhale with the curling down into cat. And then slowly coming to a flat back, tucking the toes under, pressing up to your downward facing dog. Let's take our dog for a walk here. Pedal out the legs, sway the hips, move the head. Really extend from fingertips to your tailbone. Now, the first part, and when we first started with our downward facing dog, I always kind of mention that, but make the first one really active. Make the first one kind of really start to feel your way through your body. And any movement that's comfortable for you here is fine. Moving forward to your hands, moving back to your heels, keeping your knees soft and your heels off the floor, swaying your hips side to side, pedaling your legs down and up. Really any movement here that allows your body to start to feel itself waking up, moving into your postures. With your head hanging here, there should be no tension in your neck. So kind of protract the shoulders around and hug into your armpits. You're really kind of moving around and down. Keep pressing the chest towards the thighs, and when you feel ready, press the heels towards the floor. Keep drawing in tight to the lower abdomen and lifting up through the tailbone. Steady your breath. The strong fingers are gripping into the floor, so you're not dumping all of your weight onto your wrists. Instead, you're spreading the weight equally between the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. One more breath, inhale. Full extended exhale. Gently looking forward between the hands, step or walk your feet forward, coming to the center of your mat. Keep your feet about hip width apart so that maybe they line up with the heels of your hands. Remember, you can always soften your knees here. You can use blocks. Let's hold on to the opposite elbows, let the body hang. This kind of hangman position that we do oftentimes in our practice, especially in our more gentle vinyasas, it really does give you that sense of complete surrender. So if you're fighting against your hangman here, against your hanging posture, you really want to feel that sense of letting go. And it sometimes can be really tough. If you have really tight hamstrings, you might be somewhere up here. And then this is like, oh, how do I let go if I'm way up here? Let go, and start to see how your body starts to surrender to gravity as it starts to pull down, 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 down. And it may not happen today. But remember, yoga is not a practice of one day. This is an everyday practice of a long period of time. So wherever you are today, surrender to that space. Allow yourself to just simply be. Let the shoulders soften. Feel that deep stretch in the backs of the legs. If it's too much, keep a softness in your knees as much as you need to. As you start to surrender more and more and more, you might be able to straighten more of the leg, lengthen more of the spine. And then hold on, bring the fingertips back to the floor. Extend the fingertips forward. So this is like we're going into a mock downward facing dog. Just the fingertips on the mat. It may even come off the mat if you're up higher. And then allow your body to hang through. So this is like the upper half of downward facing dog and the lower half of Uttanasana, or forward fold. Hold here and breathe. Move the chest through that space between your arms. Keep the fingers strong, planted into the floor, pushing the floor away, just like we did in the beginning. Keep that belly drawn in, let the head hang, no tension. Deep, deep stretch into the hamstrings here. And then slowly look forward, walk or step your feet forward, coming all the way to the top of your mat. Soften your knees and slowly roll yourself up to standing. Little bit at a time. Strong legs, strong core, roll the shoulders back, coming all the way up to standing position. So we're going to start today with the Surya Namaskar, but we're going to make a little bit of changes in between. So arms down by your sides, soften your shoulders. Let's close the eyes for a moment here. Coming into a balance with our feet together, heels together, big toes touching. Feel yourself grounded through the soles of your feet. Now start to notice all the little adjustments that your feet, your ankle, your lower legs, even your upper legs and hips are making to keep you balanced with your eyes closed. If this is really hard for you, if you start to feel it's kind of dizzy, you can gently open your eyes so that you see a little bit, like a little slit through the eyes, or you can hold on to a wall, bring your hand to a wall. See if you can hold here for just a few more breaths, kind of surrendering to that sensation of awareness of not being able to really know where things are. Sometimes it can be a little bit disorienting, so be kind, be gentle. If it's too much, again, open the eyes slightly or hold on to a wall. And then exhale, gently bring the hands to prayer position. Gently blink the eyes open, gazing down past your fingertips. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, let's draw the arms up. So let's bring the elbows towards each other and then extend the arms up. As you lengthen up, then you want to gaze up towards your thumbs. So if your head isn't down in between your arms, usually that means that you're forward. So you want to keep everything up and extended. Ground the feet firm into the floor, strengthen through the legs. Maybe even a little contraction through the glutes. Draw in through the navel and let your head drop back, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, slowly forward fold, hinging from the hips, softening through the knees. Hands come to the floor, either sides of your feet, and let your head hang. Keep drawing in through your navel here. Keep the knees soft. Notice here if you need to add a little bit of movement into the shoulders or upper body. Let your head hang, but keep your eyes open so that you can keep your connection to the present moment. Don't get lost in your eyes being closed. Don't get lost in your thoughts. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Keep the fingertips on the floor as you create extension here. This is our Ardha Uttanasana, our halfway lift. Now, as you find your Ardha Uttanasana, now you might be able to straighten your legs. See if that's possible. You can keep all fingertips on the floor, just a couple of fingers on the floor, or even your palms on the floor as you lengthen. So you can always make this a little harder or a little easier for yourself. And then from here, soften your knees. Let's take the right foot back, big step. Once the right foot is back, let's play with the movement of the left knee. So rolling back so that you can straighten both legs in a wide pyramid, and rolling forward like a mock lunge. Knee way past your heel, almost over past your toes. So allow yourself, your body to move from one to the other. You can use blocks underneath your hands here to keep yourself steady, or you can have your fingertips on the floor like little tents, extending there. And then if you feel like you want to hold a little bit more in the forward part, you can. If you want to hold a little bit more in the back part, welcome to do that. Or you can just continually move one to the other. And then we're going to hold the forward, but this time bring the right knee to the floor, and we're going to stack that left knee over the left ankle. Release the right toes, take a breath or two here, pressing the hips forward and down. So you might need to walk that left heel forward a little bit. Rest your left side on top of your left thigh. See if you can bring your palms down to the floor. Keep moving the hips forward and down. Strong, lifted chest, shoulders back, arms are straight. And then from here, press into the fingertips. Maybe bring your hands to your thigh and try to come up to a lifted position. So now we're in a little bit of a lunge. Building this heat inside the body so that we can move into our different postures later on, allowing ourselves to create a sense of strength, opening through chest, press the hands into that left thigh so you can lift up. Now from here, we're going to go for a little bit of a rotation. So let's take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. And then we're going to look back, bring your left hand to your waist, look back over the left shoulder. See if you can find your balance. It's easy to fall out of this posture if you're not careful. So just use your gaze to keep yourself steady. Allow your hips to keep moving forward and down, strong legs grounded. If possible, let's take that left arm and extend it out behind you. That's going to give you a little bit more rotation. You're using your right arm as counter. And exhale, come back through to center. Hands back on the thigh, lift the chest, hips forward and down. Steady your breath. Exhale, slowly bring the hands to the floor. Straighten that left leg. Pull the left hip back. The toes may come off the floor, but see if you can at least point down to the ball of your foot. Keep the left hip back as you move the right hip forward, left leg straight. You might want to stay here, or if you're feeling okay, you might want to fold. If folding, maybe the palms can come down to the floor and you can soften through your elbows. It's okay to round your back, but you don't want to feel like you're tucking under. It's not like cat pose. So feel extension of spine and try to fold with that extension, pulling the shoulders back and away. And again, pressing the ball of the left foot towards the floor, or even the toes if that's accessible. Whatever feels good. Steady the breath. And then inhale, lift up, but keep the hands on the floor, just lift the chest. Keep the right hand down, left hand turns back. Let's take the right hand to the outside of that left foot. Now, with that left leg straight, be very gentle. You might want to walk it a little closer to your body. And then just keep the left fingertips on the floor, find a little bit of a rotation here. We're leaning forward towards the left. Fingertips stay on the mat, just a little bit of a twist. Looking back over that left shoulder. And exhale, coming back all the way to center, bending through that left knee, tucking the toe under, straightening that right leg back to where we started. We're going to take this left foot back, coming to a high plank. Let's hold a high plank here for a few breaths, protracting through shoulders, engaging through core. This is such an amazing posture to build strength. It looks pretty simple. It looks very doable. If you have any issues with wrists or anything like that, this might be tough. You can place something underneath your wrists to give you a little bit of support. But if you engage into your shoulders, lift up, this is a great posture to build strength. Hold one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And slowly let's lower the knees to the floor and lower the chest to the mat. Chin down. Inhale, press up to cobra. Opening heart, lifting chest. Might want to kind of feel your way through here. The hands are on the floor, but you're not pushing your chest out. Remember, your hands are on the floor, but you want to keep a little bit of an engagement in the chest and back so that you don't fall down if your hands are not on the mat. So hands on the mat, but use them very gently. Exhale, let's release. Take a moment here. Chin is on the mat, hands are down underneath the shoulders. Steady your breath. We're going to do a couple of lifts into the back before we go into the other side. So fingertips stay on the mat. A little bit forward of your shoulders. Inhale, lift up. Using a little bit more arms here to lift you. Exhale, lower down. Let's do one more without changing the hands. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Good. Now walk the hands away, out, outside of your mat. Just same level, underneath your shoulders, but out to the outside. Fingertips stay on the floor. Inhale, lift up. So notice it changes your shape a little bit. It changes the engagement of the shoulders. Exhale, lower down. Don't move your hands. Do it one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Good. Keeping your hands right at that height of your body towards the, or outside the mat. Just slide them forward slightly to the top of your mat. And then we'll do it 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Press into your fingertips, lift your chest, engage your shoulders. Exhale, lower down. Good job. Release your arms by your sides. Take your toes, tuck them under. Slowly press up, come onto your hands and knees again. And make your way back into your downward facing dog. Steady your breathing. And we're going to repeat that whole sequence on the other side, on the right side. So just take a few breaths here. Noticing the difference between one and the other. And then we're going to take that right foot forward this time, big step, all the way in between the hands. Now we're going to go ahead and bring that left knee down to the floor. We did the movement first, so sorry. Tuck that left toe under again. Let's do the movement first. So you can have your hands, fingertips flat on the floor or palms flat down as you bring your weight forward over your toes, so your knees going over your toes, or bring it back. Try to straighten your right leg. So again, you can add this movement as steady and hold, or you can do it continuous, or you can do both. We're here for a little bit, so play around with what your body needs today. Blocks underneath the hands can be very useful, or palms flat can give you a little extra challenge. Be very mindful of your joints, your hips, your knees. If at any point there is a movement that does not resonate with you, then you might want to stop, readjust, or just keep it out. Don't go quite as deep. And then again, really the movement of forward and back creates a little bit of softness through tightness. And then we're going to hold the forward, bring the knees down, left knee down, relax that left foot. Maybe slide that right knee or right foot forward a little bit so that your knee and ankle are stacked. So you want to keep your weight forward over that right hip. And then when you're ready, hands on your knee, come up. Find extension in the body. You can use your hands to press into your thigh, move the shoulders back, and start to elevate your rib cage. Steadiness of breath here. Keep hips forward and down. Find a focal point, find your balance. We're going to go for our first twist. So that means bringing right hand to the waist, left hand to the outside of the right knee, and start to rotate your body, looking over towards the right. Keep moving the hips forward and down as you rotate your torso. Stay here for a few breaths. If you feel like you're going to fall out, again, lengthen up, ground your right foot, lengthen up through the rib cage, twist, twist, twist. And then lastly, let's extend that right arm, looking towards the right. Steady your breathing. This can be tough. Do what you can with what you got. Find steadiness of heart and mind. And then exhale, let's release. Coming back through to center. Fingertips on the floor, keep the hips down. Let's take that left hand now all the way to the outside here. And then bringing the right hand across, find your rotation there. If that's too much, you can always just keep it on the inside and look back towards the right. Fingertips are on the floor, hips are down. Find connection here. And exhale, coming back through to center. Now from here, we're gonna go ahead and straighten that right leg best you can. Point to the ball of your foot. Lengthen up through the spine. Only when you feel ready, try to fold. And remember, this fold comes with a straight back, or as straight as your body will allow it. Lift the chin away from the chest, move the shoulders back, find length here. Keep moving the right hip back, left hip forward, squaring off your hips. Steady the breath. One more rotation here in a moment. Extend. Slide the right hand back, bring the left hand on the outside of the right foot, and again, twist to the right. Keep pointing to the left toes. Gaze back towards the right. Find nice length here. Steady your breath. And exhale, coming back through to center. Bending into the right knee. Tucking the left toe under, straightening the left leg. Hold here for a breath or two. Strong arms, hips forward and down, back leg strong. Contract through your left quadricep. And then go ahead and step right foot back to our high plank. Find your high plank and hold. Keep tucking tailbone under, lifting up through the rib cage. Engaging into your core muscles here, building strength, building fire, building heat. Hold and breathe. Two more. Don't give up, keep holding, stay on your toes. And exhale, knees come down, lower the chest, chin to the floor, release coming onto your belly. Okay, so we're gonna do that again with the arms, starting with the fingertips on the floor, right underneath your shoulders. No palms flat. Fingertips really important because we don't wanna push too much into the hands. Now, as you're ready, inhale, lift up, as high as your body will allow, press into the fingertips, exhale, lower down. Once again, inhale, hands don't change, lift up, exhale, lower down. Keeping the hands there, but just sliding them out to the sides, out off your mat. Fingertips stay down, shoulders kind of move away. Inhale, lift up. Maybe looking up this time, exhale, lower down. Last one, inhale, lift up. Maybe looking up, opening the heart, exhale, lower down. Good. And then sliding the hands forward to the top of your mat. Still the fingertips are on the floor. Make sure that it's just the fingertips. They're getting strong here, your fingers. So if you need a break, you can kind of open and close, but when you're ready, get them back down. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Last one, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down, and release the arms by your sides. Turn your gaze to one side, rest here for a few breaths. So those can be kind of tough. If you need to kind of move your fingers, you should have felt that in your fingers. I hope you did. And then let's turn the gaze the other way to even out the neck. Steady your breath. Feel the breath moving through the back body. Spine and back rising and falling with each inhale and each exhale. Good, and then slowly chin back to center. Hands underneath the body, tuck the toes under. Press up onto your hands and knees. Walk your hands in slightly, tuck your toes under, and back to your downward facing dog. Pedal out your downward facing dog here if there's a need. Otherwise, find stillness. Settle in. We're going to hold this one 5 breaths. Keep drawing in through the lower belly. Continue to contract through your quadriceps, allowing your kneecaps to lift and pressing the heels towards the floor. One more breath. Press the knuckles of your fingers into the mat. Let the head hang. Gaze is towards your upper thighs or in the direction of your navel. Slowly looking forward between the hands. Easy step or walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Toes and heels this time come together and see if you can surrender back to your Uttanasana, your forward fold. Let the head hang. You can hold on to your opposite elbows if you wish. Rolling the weight forward and lengthening through your spine, allowing your rib cage to come down towards your thighs. Steady your breath. And then inhale, lift halfway, press the palms in or fingers into the floor, opening the chest, lifting the shoulders, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend your knees and slowly roll yourself up to standing. One vertebrae at a time. Keep the belly rolled and tucked in. Last thing to open up is the shoulders and then the head. We're coming back to upright position. Just like we did when we first started, close the eyes. Keep your arms hanging down by your sides. And then notice here your sense of balance, how steady or not steady it might feel. Don't shy away from difficulty. If it's tough, it's okay. Keep noticing the little bit of movement, the knees, the ankles, the feet, the toes make to keep you upright and steady. And then gently let the eyes open. We're going to do one balancing posture before we come down to the floor. We're going to go for a basic tree. We haven't done tree in a little bit of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to build our tree. And we're going to try to do tree in half lotus. So the left foot is your trunk, your tree trunk. That's your standing leg. Right foot can come to the inner ankle so that the toe can rest on the floor. Remember, if you have a wall, you can also have your fingertip on that wall so that you can feel balanced. Let's take the other hand to the chest, or you can take both hands into prayer position. Now you can stay here, lengthening, strong through the spine, reaching through top of your head, or you can start to slide that right foot into the inner calf, right below the knee. Try not to go at the knee, just right below. Extend through the spine, start to find yourself lengthening and reaching. Remember, if you feel like you're gonna fall out, the wall is right there. Just bring your fingertip to it if you need it. And then maybe slide that foot up a little higher to come into your inner thigh. So now the sole of the foot presses into the inner left thigh. The toes are pointing straight down. Hands are back in prayer position. Open the right knee out to the side. Find your balance. Find a focal point, something that is not moving. So you might want to find a spot on the floor or on the wall in front of you. Lengthen up through the rib cage, strong left leg, steady breathing. Now for half lotus, you can stay here or you can move into the half lotus. You're going to take the right hand and left hand to the foot. Find the entire foot, bring it into the left hip. Roll that hip forward. So like you're pointing your knee towards the camera. And then you want to release the right knee down. Now from that release down, keep holding on to the foot with your left hand. You can have your right hand back and steady at the center of your heart. You can bring it to the wall. So that's an active point accessible for you. Or you can take it around and see if you can find your left forearm. Keep holding on to the foot with your left hand. That's going to keep you stable here. Push into the floor with your left leg. Draw in through navel and see if you can tuck the tailbone slightly under to lift up through your rib cage. Let's hold one more breath. And if you feel like you're going to fall out, that's normal. We all feel like we're going to fall out of the posture, but still fight for it. Still engage into it so that you don't just fall out at the first chance of lack of balance. Just push into the floor and reach up to the top of the head. And then we're going to exhale and release the right arm. Bring the right hand to the ankle. Lift the right knee. Open it out to the side and release the right foot. Good. Go ahead, shake out those legs. If you know you need the wall, you might want to turn around so that you can use your left arm for the wall. All right, so here we go. Weight into the right leg. Start with the toe on the floor, knee out to the side, hands in prayer, or again, finding your wall. Try to use the left hand for your wall though, because That's the left leg we're bringing up, and if you use your right, it almost feels like you're leaning into it. So use your left hand when you're using your left leg to come into tree. Lena just wants to say good morning. She'll probably sit on my mat in a moment. And then let's start to slide that foot up into the inner calf, right below the knee. Open that left knee out to the side. So one common mistake that we make here is that we let this knee come forward. You want the sole of the foot against the inner calf, and you want that knee out to the side as much as possible. Be gentle, be kind, don't force, just guide it out in that direction. Steady your breath, reach up through the top of your head. Steady breathing. Calm the waters of your mind. That's going to help you find more stability. And then maybe sliding that left leg up, grab the foot with your left hand and bring the inside of your right foot into the inside of your right thigh. Toes are pointing straight down. The heel presses into the inner thigh of the right leg. Knee opens out to the side. And again, you can always use your wall if the wall is accessible for you. Reach up through the top of your head. Find steadiness. Gentle breathing. Keep drawing in through navel. If you feel like you're going to fall out, just reach higher through the top of your head. Become the tallest tree ever. And then if you want to go into your half lotus, then we can start to move. Otherwise, stay here. We're going to bring the hands down to that left foot. Release the foot, and we're going to open that hip back as we lift the heel and bring it into the right crease of the right hip. So we bring it over. That brings that left knee forward. The left knee is pointing towards me right now. Hold on to the foot with the right hand and gently guide that left knee down. So you keep holding on to the foot with the right hand. Keep reaching up to the top of your head. And then as we exhale, you can take that left hand to prayer or bring it around to grab your right forearm. Steady your breath here. Keep working on rolling that left knee down towards the floor so the sole of your left foot is pointing up towards the ceiling. Belly drawn in, rib cage is lifted, shoulders back, strong right foot. Steady your breath. Good. If you fall out or if you need a wall, grab the wall, hold on to the wall, hold on to the chair, hold on to whatever you have near you to keep you stable. But try to stay in a sense of peace and calm, steadiness of heart. Really, that's the one thing that we want to find in our balanced postures, that steadiness of heart. And then go ahead and release that left hand, comes back around. Hold on to the ankle with the left hand. Lift the knee up, open it back out to the side, and then now go ahead and release it down. Shake out the legs. Okay, we're gonna make our way down to the mat, the top of the mat. Inhale, arms extend up. Long, extended body. Feels good after that balancing on one side and the other to feel nice and stable on two legs. Exhale, forward fold. Hinging from the hips, coming down. Inhale, lengthening the spine, creating space. Exhale, fold again. Now, walk your fingertips slightly forward past your feet and separate your feet about as wide as your mat. Maybe the toes can come off the mat. The pinky toes can come off the mat. Bend your knees and start to lower your hips to the floor. If you know you need a block underneath you, just place the block underneath your hips, coming into Malasana. Go ahead and make any adjustments necessary here. Once you're done, use your elbows to press into the inner knees or inner thighs, hands into prayer position, and lift your chest. Malasana position is wonderful for not just the hips, but also for the abdomen. This helps to trim and strengthen your lower belly. Hold here and breathe. Again, find that point of focus. If you feel like you're gonna fall backwards, just bring a little bit more weight to your toes. If you feel like you're gonna fall forwards, just bring a little bit more weight to your heels. You can play with that movement of weight forward to the toes, back to the heels, or just find that space right in between the two where you feel beautifully stable and ready and set. And then exhale, let's round the spine, bring the hands to the floor, and just kind of curl your spine under, tuck your chin towards your chest, roll yourself down so that your butt can come to the floor and your feet can release. All right, so from here, go ahead and extend your legs. Keep your legs nice and engaged, toes pointed back towards your face. When we come into Paschimottanasana, if reaching forward to grab your toes makes you round your back. So if your shape looks something like this, you can find your toes, but then your back is really rounded. Then what you want to try to do instead of grabbing your toes is bring your hands to your knees and lift through your rib cage. So this is where we're going to start today. From this position, your sit bones are down and back. So you feel those bony protrusions underneath your butt, in between the kind of squishy part of your booty. Underneath there are these bony protrusions, and you can actually feel them if you lift your off to the side. You want those sit bones down and moving back. So that's where you want to start. That's the engagement of the legs. Other than that, your back might be completely straight, or you might even need your hands to help support your back. So this is Paschimottanasana, very, very beginning stages, very small, easy increments. You would start to move your hands to your knees. Okay, so that's level, and next level up, you're engaging into your core, lifting through your chest, the feet are flexed, the heels are pressing down into the floor. And then from here, you can start to come forward. So coming forward just means if your back doesn't round, if you can just hinge from your hips as you come down, then you can start to maybe bring your hands to your ankles. And by bringing your hands to your ankles, now you can find another place to hold on to, and that can engage a little bit more into the arms, shoulders, and back. And now you can start to fold forward a little bit more. The lower back will begin to start to round. So that extension back through the sit bones that we found before is still there. You're still pressing back through the sit bones. As you find yourself getting a little bit more wiggle room, a little bit more space, you might be able to bring your hands to your heels. Now you can also do this with a strap. A strap is helpful because you can just walk yourself down the strap. But I like using the legs because sometimes we don't have a strap. Hopefully we will most of the time have our legs. So allow your body to come down, and maybe the elbows can come to the floor. Now there comes a point where the back just naturally begins to round. It's just the natural state of things. Keep working towards extension of the upper body, reaching the chin away from the chest and pulling the shoulder blades back. Keep drawing in through navel and see if you can go as deep as possible for you. Maybe interlacing your fingers or just holding on to your heels. Once you're there, let your head hang or relax your head down towards your shins. Another option is you can use a block or a cushion so that you can bring your forehead to it. And that way you don't have to worry about your neck hanging here too much. Just place the block or the cushion on top of your shins so that you're not tucked in towards your body, but instead moving away from your body, extending forward towards the toes. We're going to hold here for about 4 or 5 breaths. In the deepest version your body will allow you to get into today. A lot of things happening here, so just take inventory of the body and just notice how everything feels, and if there's any need for changes or adjustments. If there isn't, find stillness. Good. And slowly, let's lift the head, move the shoulder blades back, keep extending through body. Maybe try to extend, hold on back to your toes. You can hold above your cushion, or you can just move it out of the way for now. Extend the body here, reach the chest forward, keep pulling on your toes, heels are on the floor. Exhale, come back to center. So this back to center is our Dandasana position. This is our neutral position. If you find that this is hard for you, you can have your hands on your thighs or just your hands on next to your hips. Dandasana position is that neutral space. We're going to keep this neutral space as we move through the legs. So then now, with this neutral spine, open your legs slightly apart, not too far, comfortably apart. I'm going to stay facing this direction because I really want you to focus on that neutral spine. If you start to feel like your sit bones are tucking under and now you're like, yeah, I can hold this all day, I'm cool, then you want to kind of lift yourself back up, sit the sit bones back down, lift up through your rib cage and engage back into your legs, press them down. Your toes should be pointing straight up to the ceiling. Don't let your feet flop in and don't let them flop out. Keep them engaged, very important. And then go ahead and grab your cushion or your block, place it somewhere in front, because you might need it when we come down to the setup. So first part is maybe bringing the elbows to that prop. If you find like, yeah, not today, hands to the prop works just as well. So you want to start in that extension and leaning forward. Again, not collapsing, but lifting and leaning. So if you find your elbows on the prop accessible, you might decide you don't need the prop, you can bring your elbows to the floor. But you might need the prop for your forehead in a moment, so keep it there. Relax the shoulders back, keep the legs engaged, keep extending forward, drawing in tight to the tailbone, and those sit bones, those bony protrusions, push them back. And then ground yourself deep into the floor with your feet, maybe bringing your chest or your forehead or your chin to your prop. Now once your chest or chin or forehead is on your prop, now you can release any pressure into the arms. So now you can relax the arms and settle in. Actually, what we'll do in a few moments is we're going to move the arms out to the feet, but just for the next few breaths, just hold them there, see how you feel. And then slowly walk the left hand out to the left foot, right hand out to the right foot without using muscles of the arms, just gently holding there. See if you can lower a little bit deeper. So we're not pulling with the arms. We're just letting the arms guide you down by just bringing them to your feet. You're actually using your torso and your upper body to move its weight down. Be mindful of the toes because they will like to flop in. Keep them extending up towards the ceiling. Couple more breaths here. Settle into whatever is arising for you. There might be some shaking going on. There might be some fighting in your head. Oh, this feels too strong, too severe. I can't hold. You know, and then you kind of soften and you realize, okay, it's not so bad. Let me be here for another breath. So just go through the motions. Each posture will teach you something. See what this posture has to teach you today. About perseverance, about resistance, about anything at all. And slowly inhale. Let's lift halfway. Keep holding on to the feet. Just lift your chest halfway, lengthen spine. Exhale there. And slowly come back up to that neutral spine that we found in the beginning. Notice as we continue to do these forwards and these holds, this neutral spine becomes more accessible and easier for us to do. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do a balance. So this is the first part of the balance. We're going to lean back, soften your knees so that your heels stay on the floor. We're going to try to bring the feet to the hands. So here's what you want to try to do. Lean forward with your arms. So use counterbalance as you lean back. You bring the heels up and maybe grab those big toes. Keep your knees bent. Now, once you have your big toes, now you are able to lengthen and straighten the legs. Flex the feet and pull your body through. So this is the first part of our balance. Those bony protrusions that we were focusing on before, they are really much part of this posture because that's what's going to keep you sitting onto them. Between the tailbone, the sacrum, and those bony protrusions in the ends of our hips, at our glutes. And then from here, if you feel good, start to point your toes. So this lengthens your arms. And now you can look up. If you have a really hard time balancing, you're welcome to go and use a wall behind you. So that wall can help support you. But see if you can try it without the wall. Let the legs open wide, looking up towards the sky, shoulders roll back. Steady your breath. Easy breathing. 1, 2, 3. Keep engaging into core, lifting up. 4, almost there. And 5. Go ahead. Flex the feet, bend the knees. Start to come down, release the heels to the floor, release the toes, extend the legs, and go ahead and lay all the way back onto your back. Take your time. Once you're on your back, let your legs relax, arms down by your side. But we're gonna keep our feet together, legs a little bit engaged, so toes pointed, Arms down by your sides and just find stillness here. Not quite Shavasana, not yet, almost there. Just a sense of, okay, we're moving down. And we can let all of that go. Balancing can be really tough. And balancing like that in a seated position is definitely a challenge. So however you did, feel proud for yourself. You attempted it. You did it. You fell out. You got back in. That's really all that matters. And then we're going to go ahead and bend the right knee. Bring the right knee into the body. Reach the arms around to hold onto that right knee. Pull it a little bit closer. Steady your breathing. Pull the shoulders back and down. And going for an easy twist, take the left hand to grab the right knee and pull it all the way over to the side. You can let the left elbow come down first. So let the left elbow come down. Maybe the foot can come down. Maybe the knee can come down. But here's the thing. If this right shoulder is way up and you're all twisting all the way to the left, then you might want to let that knee lift up so that you can bring the right shoulder down. And then extend the right arm, however it's comfortable for you. So the toe and the elbow down helps to support this. And then you use your left leg or left hand to guide that knee towards the earth. But don't let that right shoulder lift up. Keep it down to the floor. Rotate, twist your body. Steady your breath. Look to the right. And slowly exhale, coming back through the center, bringing the right knee in towards the body. Hug that knee in towards the body. You can flex through the left foot. Relax the shoulders. Steady your breath. And then slowly release the right leg down. Bring the left foot in. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. Hug the left knee into the body. Take a moment here just to feel that pull of the left leg in. Keep engaging to that right side, right calf and right heel on the floor. And then we'll go for a twist, holding on to the left knee. Go for the full twist at first. So it's okay about that left shoulder. Just go all the way over. Try to get the right elbow down. We'll slide a little bit so I don't hit the mirror. Right elbow down, left toe down, even the left knee. Bring the left knee to the floor and just see how that left shoulder just kind of whoop, pops up and you just kind of start to feel heavy on that side. Maybe let your hand rest. And then now go ahead and bring the left shoulder down. So let the left knee come up just enough that the left shoulder can come down and you can extend to the left arm looking towards the left. So the left toe can stay on the floor, right elbow can stay on the floor, and just start to pull yourself into the twist. Be very kind and gentle with your body, especially when you're coming into twist, because it takes a little bit of getting used to. Each time you inhale, you might want to feel length through the spine, and each time you exhale, you might want to go a little deeper into the rotation. I'm just going to move from back one to the other with as much ease as possible. Steadiness of breath. And slowly with the next exhale, we're going to start to bring that left knee back through the center. Square off your shoulders, square off your hips, and hug that left knee into the body once more. And exhale, lower the left leg down. Okay, so next we're going to do shoulder stand. Counterindications for shoulder stand: if you are on your cycle, if you're a woman on your cycle, you don't want to do this. If you have any issues with your neck, you might want to avoid it. In that case, you want to use a prop underneath your sacrum and then just have your legs come up. So this is your option for shoulder stand if you're not doing shoulder stand. If you are doing shoulder stand, you're not going to need that prop. You're going to need your body flat onto your back. Press into your elbows, lift up through the hips, bring your hands to your lower back and wriggle your elbows close to each other. Bring your hands as close to your lower back, high towards your shoulder blades as you can, and then go ahead and lift up through your legs. Make sure that this is a true shoulder stand by bringing your weight to your shoulders, not your neck. So make sure that your neck is not feeling any pressure here. A little bit of sensation in the neck is normal, but you don't want to feel like your weight is on your neck. So gently move your chin away from your chest if you feel like you're pressing down too much into your neck. Point your toes, engage your glutes, draw in through belly, lift up through the toes. Hold one more breath. Inhale. We won't be here that long. Exhale. And slowly lower the feet to Halasana. Lowering the toes down to the floor or the tops of the feet. Once they're down, you can extend your arms. If your toes never make it to the floor, just keep your hands at your lower back to keep you supported. And it's okay to find Halasana in this floating space as well. So just hold here for 1, holding it for 3 breaths. 2, steady the shoulders, steady the mind, and 3. Release the hands down to the floor and start to roll yourself down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Take your time, let the hips come down, try to keep the head on the floor, and slowly lower the legs all the way down to the mat. Once the legs are down, back into that same position when we started with the feet together, heels together, arms down by your side. And then from here, we're going to go into our Shavasana. So go ahead and separate your feet. Let your feet flop out to the sides, arms down by your sides. Palms facing up, relax your shoulders, relax your neck and head, close your eyes. Take rest. Slowly and gently, let's begin to bring awareness back to our bodies, to our breath, and to this room we are now in. Let's start to reawaken the body by moving the head. Just move your head side to side. Bringing left shoulder to, or left chin to left shoulder, and then chin to right shoulder. And then continue to move the head as you start to move the fingers and the toes. And keep the head at center, bend your knees, bend your elbows, come to your constructive resting pose. Let your knees fall in towards each other, giving each other support. So relax your arms at your belly or at your heart, or both. And then exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice tight hug. Wrap the arms around the knees. Maybe hold on to opposite elbows. Lift the head, forehead towards the shins or towards the knees. Shoulders pull back and down. Squeeze your body nice and tight. Little tight ball. And then exhale, release the head, but keep squeezing through the knees. Roll yourself up to the side as you release the grip of your knees and come into your seated position. So as we make our way up to seated, we'll just end our practice here with a little bit of gratitude. Always a good thing to have, no matter what is going on around us, feeling ourselves full of gratitude, being thankful. So just take a few breaths here, bring to mind 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 different things that allow you to feel gratitude today. You don't have to name them. Maybe they just play pictures in your mind of the faces that you're grateful for, the circumstances, the situations. What brings joy and gratitude to your heart? And then as we exhale, continuing to run those images through the mind, or those thoughts or ideas or names, go ahead and bring your palms together at the center of your heart. As we exhale, we release anything that no longer serves us. We let go of limited beliefs, old paradigm thinking. We exhale love out into the world. And as we inhale, we prepare for bringing in that gratitude, feeling it swim around within our bodies. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me today.